This upcoming school year, teachers are playing a critical role in helping families adjust to the new normal, whether that be in the classroom or at home. We need to support our teachers now more than ever. That's why Clorox is donating $1 million to Clear the List Foundation to help supply the resources teachers need to set their students up for success. Clorox is also offering you a chance to win $5,000 for your back-to-school needs, plus $20,000 for your local school to prepare for the year ahead. To enter, visit Clorox.com.
You're listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Truliving Africa. Truliving Africa.
True Living Tribe, how you doing today?
Hey, True Living Tribe.
Well, you can tell by our giggle that we are good.
It's a Friday.
Yep.
Even though technically Friday, Monday, they're all the same to wellness coaches, right?
Yeah.
In this industry.
In this time, we're all good. It's all the same to us.
Yeah,
we're always chirpy.
Yeah.
With some coffee, though. But hey.
Coffee is the beans.
Yes.
Okay.
So today, thank you for joining us again. So today we're doing part 2 of strength training.
Yes.
Last week we talked about strength training in general in part of our Pillars of Movement series. And today we're speaking a bit more, we're speaking specifically to women and strength training. This is an important one because if you recall, that of course is if you have listened to the last podcast. If you haven't, please, after this, go ahead and listen. We talked about misconceptions about strength training.
Its benefits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one of the big misconceptions that we talked about, I think we kept almost touching on it all the time, was the misconceptions women have about strength training.
Yeah.
I know so many people so many women in particular shy away from. Meanwhile, men love it. They run to it.
Yeah, because it helps them build the muscle that they require to look good, doesn't it?
That Johnny Bravo look.
Right.
But anyways.
our mirror muscles. But yeah, so a lot of women
run away from it because we don't want to be bulky.
Because we don't. Yeah, so diving right in.
Yeah. So why? What? Is it possible for us? Let's just jump into that. Is it possible for us to be bulky like that? And I'm putting this at you straight up because you lift weights.
I love to lift.
Yeah.
I can lift from now. And why Onyi is like the yin to my yang is because she's the one who reminds me that, listen, your flexibility and balance is important.
Stretch, people, stretch.
But if you left me, I would be huffing and puffing with the kettlebells and the barbells and trying all sorts of complexes and and I just love to strength train, and like I said one time that I usually do my meditation with my strength training, so it grounds me and it makes me, and again, because I'm not jumping I'm not a jumping person, but like we know that different exercises are for different people.
Exactly.
And with strength training, of course, we know that you don't necessarily have to use a barbell to strength train. Like we said the last time, that it actually is just really pushing your muscles outside their comfort zone and against some form of resistance. And
you can do different types. So there's body weight exercise as well. You can do the external,
the machines, the cables, the pulleys. But the bulking bit, which there's research that shows that I think only 20% of women who work out actually do strength training.
Oh, really?
Yes, as compared to their counterparts. So
only 20%.
Only 20%.
Is this inclusive of body weight exercises or just lifting weights?
Inclusive of body weight exercise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, that's so poor. That's not right.
Although strength training is one of the best things we can do for our health.
Yes.
Yeah. It's estimated that only about 20 women. I mean, it's so far below that of our male counterparts. But like you said, we have this mistaken notion that lifting weights will make us bulkier or bulky like men, but in reality it's a myth. We simply do not have the required testosterone levels to build muscle.
Yeah, we don't
like men, but it's a biological, you know how it's a biological imperative for men, but for women it's quite the opposite. We can build, and it takes a long time to build muscle.
Yeah, because we're not just designed that way. We have more tissue than men.
Exactly. We've got a lot, fatty tissue and so forth. But it takes, and even when you're deliberate in the strength training process, muscle is hard to grow.
On a good day.
Yes. On a good day. You have to, lift properly, the right sets, rest properly, and so forth. And it takes a long time. And eat properly as well. You have to be able to fuel your muscles. Yeah. But, because we as women, like we said the last time, that we like to, the 3 S words we like to throw around: sculpt,
tone.
Yes, we like to,
sculpt,
exactly.
Tone,
we like to tone and sculpt. But for that to happen, what we're really saying is that we want to look good in our clothes. We want to be able to, snap on the skinny jeans without the muffin top, spilling out. We want to be able to wear we want to be able to wear like
those strapless tops,
right, and not have like your hallelujah mother arms or whatever. Not body shaming or anything, but that's really what a lot of women.
That's what clients say.
Yes.
I mean, when they come to class, they're like,
they want to look
man,
sleek
my arms,
my
this
arms
and
want
that.
to spot reduce.
Yeah,
and strength training is one of the things that can help you do that. But you can't even sculpt or tone and have your muscles look good if you don't train the muscle, and you can't train your muscles without growing the muscle.
New muscle,
and enter strength training.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm saying that Uyok is one that lives, I do body weight exercises. That's what Pilates is. It's using your body weight. I mean, there's some that will use pulleys and cables and all, but it's predominantly body weight and little.
This is true, because by the time
free weights,
by the time
stuff.
You do
by the time you're planking,
you're planking and
you're working your core, your back, your
entire
chest.
body is vibrating.
Exactly. But those people that lift external weights, I bow for you guys.
I know.
I have to say I bow, and I don't understand how, but I understand it. When you say you meditate, you get into that meditative space when you're.
It's me and the iron. Yeah,
I'm like that with me and my mat.
Right.
When we're pushing through in the Pilates class, we feel like that. So I understand it, but I can't understand it because I'm like,
it's not for you. It's not for you.
So
and that's what happens. That's what happens when you find the movement that suits you, right?
Exactly.
That's what happens. You
gets
connect
you into that zone.
You connect to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who struggle with exercise, I say you need to find. Yes, you haven't found.
I say that too.
Right.
You
have to find the movement that suits you. And as much as some people are runners, running, would help you lose fat and all of that, but we can't live in Cardioville all the time.
Yeah, we must find balance. So even if running is your zone, is what gets you into the zone, you still need to visit Strengthville and Flexiville.
Exactly.
And as much as you dwell in your Cardioville.
Absolutely. And the thing about strength training with women is, like, number one, your appearance. Like I was saying before, if you want to get that toned and sleek body, build lean muscle mass, that will give you the appearance that you're aspiring for. Women who do a mixed workout like cardio and weight training, they're able actually to burn more fat and build lean muscle mass. So even if you live in Cardioville, you want to be able to have incorporate your body weight exercises or external weights. Some form of resistance training is important for that look, right? And another thing about strength training with women that women, would sort of encourage you to give it a try and live there is the fact that if you're even trying to lose weight, it works wonders for weight loss. And that's another misconception. When a woman first comes to the gym, or she first comes to say, we're talking about her movement, what she says is, I want to lose weight first, and then I'll start to tone.
So they want to focus on cardio. That's basically what they're saying.
Yes,
they want to focus on cardio,
and then
we'll come to this other bit,
strength training. But what happens is, if with any luck they're combining cardio and dieting, and they're able to lose some body weight, they then say, oh, you know what, maybe not so much. The unfortunate thing is, like, when that happens, that's a big buzz, like, no, that you shouldn't do that. It's actually the reverse.
Yeah.
That should happen, because what strength training does for you is it helps you to build metabolically active tissue.
Exactly.
That metabolically active tissue, which is your muscle, your trained muscle, will burn more calories at rest.
Yeah. So meaning that when you're not exercising, you're still burning muscle.
Absolutely.
You're still burning
calories, yes. And because muscles get, I like to use the phrase, muscles get hungry. So whenever, when your nutrient source or your energy source comes in, it'll go first towards the repair and build up of your muscle before anything else.
Yeah.
So, and like we said before, muscle is hard to grow and easy to lose.
Yeah. So we start to generally, just for the aging process, we start to lose muscle by the time we're hitting 25, 30. We start to lose it. And so, that's why we all experience the mid-age spread and stuff like that, because we're losing muscle.
Right.
And so we're gathering more fat,
accumulating fat,
more fat tissue. Yeah. So if so we have to be intentional.
Yes, absolutely.
About
strength training will help you combat age-related muscle loss. Age-related muscle loss, and that's almost inevitable. Like when you said, if you're not strength training already, and if you do a lot of cardio, you find out that it feels easy to put on weight.
Yeah, once you stop.
So that cardio and dieting, because what happens with cardio is that you get the quick loss of water.
Yeah,
and so you can actually go out and do a cardio session and come back and be like 1 kg lighter on the scale.
And you lose muscle.
You lose muscle as well.
Yeah. So people get on the scale, they're feeling lighter. Meanwhile, when you start to strength training, which going back on the back of what you're saying, when you start to strength training, you get on your scale and you're heavier, and it sort of defeats the purpose, because I want to lose weight.
Yes.
So you're thinking the scale should be going down.
Right.
But we need to always remember, I hate using the scale. I hate
it's not really
weighing myself.
The most definite precursor.
Because it doesn't tell you. We must always remember that number, I was just having this conversation last night, that number is not just fat. It's bones, water,
your organs.
Yeah. I mean, the head alone weighs almost 10 kg.
Right.
I know. So all of that, and then bones as well. So the taller you are, the heavier you're going to be.
Right.
As well. That number is going to be higher. So we need to put that into perspective as well. And so when you're even exercising, your goal is to lose weight. And even if the number goes up, it will go up, but it will eventually start to balance out, because when you now start to lose the fat tissue itself, then the scale itself will start.
And especially if you're if your goal is to build muscle, right? It's a process. The same way weight loss is a process, really. But how I like to do it with clients is, listen, if you're going to, we can focus on the building muscle bit. And during that time, you have to sort of eat properly.
Yeah, your nutrition is so key.
Yes, nutrition is key. And as much as nutrition is key for both building muscle and staying well, of course, and losing weight, it's a little different for weight loss, or what we like to call cutting, than it is for bulking, if you want to use the words that our male counterparts use. And bulking is because you would be heavier on the scale, not that you would be bulkier with your looks, but for men you would definitely look bulky. So you're going to be feeding your muscle the metabolically active tissue, and while your muscles are breaking down and repairing, there's also a bit of inflammation going on, and so it looks like you've tripled in size or in weight, right? On the scale. Your clothes initially may feel a bit snug, but as you continue with the process, you find out that
starts to even out,
that your clothes fit better. But the number on the scale doesn't change so drastically.
So the muscle starts to lean out in a way, in appearance. So even though, and also remember, as in this even just occurred to me, as much as we're building muscle, all that lifting of weight is also increasing bone density.
It is. It makes you stronger.
It makes you stronger, and
Right.
you will be your bones will be somewhat heavier. And also, and that's a good thing. You
That's
don't
a
want,
great thing.
yeah, you don't want fragile bones
No,
or
you
brittle
don't. Or
bones.
spinal, a
Exactly.
weak spine or a weak back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's actually that's interesting. That just occurred to me about the bones.
So you start to look leaner and fitter, but this that whole drastic 7 kgs in 3 days, and also because if you go to a lab or whatever and they show you 1 pound of fat as against 1 pound of muscle,
yeah,
it's clear why that happens.
you can see that the fat is wide. It's more
big.
space.
It's like a big bowl,
Yeah.
right, of fat, and that is just.
We're going to post that on our Instagram just so that people can see that
exactly.
image. That'll be a good image.
Yeah. And the same 1 pound of muscle looks a lot smaller, like a deck of cards, right?
Smaller and compact.
And so you can understand how you will weigh the same but look smaller.
Yeah, I mean, there's this other image. I'll dig it out, of women that all look different, so are different body types, and all weigh the same,
right?
But they all look. I think it was Dove that did that advert. I know they had women of different body types, but they all weighed the same thing, and it's like, how is this possible? But it's this same thing that we're talking about. It's about those that had more body fat and those that had more muscle.
Exactly.
I know.
And it's the difference is in the look.
Yeah.
Right. And so and looking for that lean, toned, tight, outcome body wise, strength training will give it to you. Cardio. Ask Beyonce. Cardio will give you. But there's that.
Cardio will give you a lean look, but you will have a more fragile look.
Yes, a little bit of a sag going on, dehydration.
Definitely, yeah. I have clients who have who come to me with loose skin because they've focused on the cardio and the dieting. I know, and I'm like, that's why you didn't do any strength training, right? So you were losing all that muscle, and there was nothing for the skin to hold on to give you that tone. Yeah, I mean, if I was to recap, right? If I was to say this in a way that it'll make sense. Hopefully, all of this has made sense.
Yes, but I mean, in some kind of like a 1 minute microwave way, right? If you want to look great and tight and toned, you need to lift. Cardio can make you sort of. I don't want to speak like generally. Yeah. But cardio will give you a little bit of a fragile look, because you see, you don't want to lose weight by all means. Yeah. Weight loss is not the same for everyone. There is fat loss and there is water loss, and there is muscle loss. Yes. If you lose water and muscle, you will lose weight. Yeah. You will shrink. Yeah. And the number on the scale will shift, but you will gain it back, and you will gain back a higher percentage of fat. And so dieting plus excessive cardio, and when we say cardio, there is the body weight training that feels like cardio, but we're talking steady state cardio, aren't we? So dieting and excessive cardio for weight loss is a short-term solution. Yeah. Strength training, not only is it great for your everyday life, right? It makes you look and feel fabulous. Yeah. And so it's easier to keep the weight off. Yeah. When you're strength training. Yeah, and another important thing with strength training is that it reduces your risk of injury. Oh yeah, that's the big one. It increases your instincts. Is it instincts that I need to say? Yeah, your reflexes. Yeah, your reflexes. Yeah. And so that combination of strength training and, of course, stretching increases your reflexes much more than with cardio. Yeah. And also, it's very, very important that we take that on board, especially, as women, we're doing so much. And especially if you're a woman running a business, you're doing so much. You have to be here, you have to be there, you have to be mom, you have to be, in some cases, be dad, you have to, there's so much. And then you're still MD and stuff. You're sitting at your desk for long hours. You need to make sure that your body can actually endure all of this. Yeah. So there's that endurance that comes
from that stamina and endurance that comes from strength training.
From building your muscle, yeah.
And it's not just a physical thing, because like Uyok mentioned, there's that meditative state that you go into. So there's the mind,
and my
body,
iron.
you know?
We're one.
Exactly. There's that mind-body thing, dynamic going on, and that energy oscillation that is going on through the different dimensions, and which is very key and helps us to be much more productive when we get into our workspace.
Totally. And you know,
stuff.
just to so ladies, if you're worried about getting too bulky, right, the answer is no, you won't. The for those women who you see who are like totally ripped and look like male models,
it didn't just happen.
It didn't happen by mistake.
Yes.
You know, it took them long years of dedicated training. They do that deliberately.
Yeah.
And some of them are, you know, on steroids.
Yeah.
So they do
that
take enhancements and steroids to look that way. You have to be so deliberate about that look for that to happen.
So how do I start strength training if I'm just going to go down that road? How do you suggest that we start?
So with strength training, like we said earlier, there are different kinds. So you have to you want to find, first of all, you want to find a qualified trainer, or you want to do apart from signing up with us, of course, you want to be able to use a qualified trainer to start your journey to strength training. You don't want to jump into the barbell complexes. Yeah. You want to start with your body weight. As a matter of fact, body weight is enough. Yeah. Right. You can actually.
Good place to start.
It's a great place to start. There are some fundamental movements for strength training, like we talked about the last episode. We talked about your push, your pull, your lift.
Squat,
yes.
Your lift.
So, and that works your upper body, your lower body, and it really focuses on the fundamental human movements. Yeah. And you know how we're big on movement, and not necessarily exercise, functional movement. So you want to start with your push, like your push-ups, your sit-ups. Yeah. You know, you want to work your front, your back muscles. You want to be able to pull, like your pull-ups and, you know, other exercises that could work that upper back and your lower back. You want to be able to do your squats. And
these are all functional things, because we have to squat to pick up the baby. We have to squat to pick up that table, box. Yeah. You have to
lift things up the stairs.
So those are all things that are part of our lifestyle.
Right. And if you want to use weights, right, you don't have to start with.
Don't start heavy.
You don't start heavy. But for those people who are a bit advanced, you know, you don't have to use the pink dumbbells. Please. If you don't want to, you can actually, you know, but it's always better to err on too light versus too heavy. Yeah. Because you want to learn the correct movement and the proper form. So form is very important when you're lifting external weights, because you can actually injure yourself if you're not doing it properly. Yeah.
That's really why I always encourage people to start with body weight.
Yes.
I know, because at least you get to know your body. It's like an introduction to your body. Exactly. Before you now go to those external weights where form is key. That's not to say form is not key with
body weight.
With body weight, but your risk of injury is a little
lower, much lower with body weights. And for newbies, they really do want to start with body weights. Yeah. That's what I'd advise.
How do we progress though?
Yeah, but so with body weights, it's interesting because people think, a push-up is a push-up. You progress with variations. Yes. So when you want to start and stay with body weights, I mean, you have from beginners to complex calisthenics.
On this, and
your body is heavy enough.
I tell you, just incline, decline, yes, all of that,
all the variations
make a difference.
Because like, up until today, if I was going to do a push-up, I still do the girly push-ups, to be honest. I'm not even going to lie.
I have days. You know? I have days. Yes. Meanwhile, in my class, every session we must plank. Right. At least plank. Yeah. But there are days that plank surf is like,
you know what? Let's put our knees on the floor.
Let's just be down there. I know. But, you know, and that's you just working with your body, working with your hormones, because some days are just different.
Yeah, some days are more exciting than others. Some days you're more pumped. Some days you're just there. Some days you're downright blah. Yeah. But that pushing through, when you come out on the other side, you know, it's an amazing euphoric experience.
So when you're eating that eba, you're like, man, I worked for it.
I earned it.
I worked for it.
Yeah. So you do want to start with body weights, and if you want to remain with body weights, you want to progress. So and progress means that
pushing.
You're pushing yourself, like we said, beyond, you know, outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. So if you can do 5 push-ups today, you want to be able to do
At least 6.
6 tomorrow. By next week, you want to be able to do 8. And so forth.
Yeah.
Again, when you have a set of workouts that you do regularly, if you also want to see some progress after that initial progress, especially when the play 2 sets in, you want to also reduce your rest time in between your sets, in between your workouts. So you don't want to be doing one set and then roaming around and having a chat and go make an omelette and then come back and do another set. You really want to reduce the time. So that reducing the time, increasing your reps, and doing the variations to make it heavier. So if you're doing the girly push-ups with your knees on the floor, for instance, you want to then progress to the regular push-ups, and then once you've mastered that, you want to be able to do the decline push-ups and all that wonderful stuff. So but again, check with your physician, get a personal a certified trainer, work with us. So that's the whole idea.
And then the easiest another quick one on when you're strength training, we mentioned that nutrition is key, and also you want to make sure that you're having foods that are full of protein. And also,
protein is muscle food. It's the building block of muscle building.
Exactly. So you want your protein and your fiber, your good fibers and vegetables in, and also that so that your work is evident and you don't waste energy, because foods that fuel. You don't want to do junk food and all of that. So it's key. Let's see the work that we're doing.
Nutrition
all this squatting that I've been squatting. Come on, I should have buns of steel by now.
But alas, the ice cream tub won't let me. So yes, women and wonderful women, ladies and gentle women. That's it for today. Actually, on women and strength training. If you haven't strength trained a day in your life, you want to start today.
Start today, please.
And
even if it's with a squat or a plank, start today.
Absolutely, you can't. Functional, activities of daily living, functional fitness is so key, especially as you get older. You do want to build your muscles. So girls, ladies, grandmas, it's never too late. Get on it. And and if you want to link to the previous episodes of the podcast, you go to www.africabusinessradio.com, at Africa Business Radio
on Twitter and Instagram. And we are Truliving Africa on Instagram and Twitter. So we look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Look out for some of the things that are going to be hitting you soon. So exciting days.
Yay!
Thanks, Africa.
You're listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'.